and opening their brains out, opening their brains up, and getting outside the box. They're bringing on people like the COO of Fairwinds. They're bringing on these other companies, but it's still completely questionable and absolutely not. Alcohol's on one side, cannabis is on the other. I mean, you're talking about throwing, it's like giving explosives to your maintenance man for doing work in the yard. If you look at it like this, if it's a Schedule 1 drug on one side and alcohol you can make in your backyard with grapes, I mean, I know the grow factor, but they're not even following their own rules. So if they're not following their own rules, how can we even trust them to govern this with some form of respect?
It's really challenging in Washington State working with the LCB just in regards to cannabis. I can't hardly imagine the nightmare if they were together. Next.
I would agree with Jeremy. I think, you know, the tough pieces, I pretty much all the same. I don't know how they interact with each other, and it's difficult to understand, you know, especially coming into an establishment, you don't know where they're at. To hold yourself responsible and liable for that piece in there, I think they should be separate. I think they also should be regulated separately because they're very different. They act differently. Trying to put them into one bucket, I don't think they're getting to an outcome or a goal that they want to. So I can only agree. I think in small private events where it's curated in a way that's respectful to both products, I think you can find that. But I think it's really a very individualized kind of event, not a everyday, open all day kind of a deal. So kind of where I stand.
T, it's kind of an everyday actual event in my home. I love a good fade going on, and I take, there you have it. I take 100 milligram bottle of one of these sodas here, and I put it into 10 ice cube trays. And then I just dump half of one of those into my vodka soda, and I'm off for a good, relaxing evening. I've been watching something on Netflix. If you haven't watched Pose, I highly recommend you start watching Pose. Anyway, I love the combination myself, personally. And I understand for some other people it might be complicated.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love getting high and taking shots of bourbon. Sure,
And
no problem.
We keep talking about Jack Daniels. Is there any here?
Yes.
I'm sorry. No.
Okay.
Hempfest is an alcohol-free event.
Absolutely.
It's off-site.
Yes, I too enjoy a good crossfade. I'm a rye girl. I enjoy rye with my cannabis, but that's all the more reason why I don't do it at my dinners because I understand what a potent crossfade it is, and for somebody that doesn't have that exposure to cannabis, or someone that we're trying to educate and get them to pay attention to how their body feels and notice these different things about whatever it is they're consuming, you can't have those two controls and actually expect someone to learn from that experience. So it's very trendy, it's very popular, and it's delicious. And so when people want to pay me to have that as a thing on the menu, sure. But we're gonna have a good conversation about it because everybody needs to understand that it is going to impact their high. And I'm gonna try and mitigate that and get people to a point where they at least have some time in the evening to just experience the cannabis before they experience the cross effects of those two things. Also, sorry, there was another question there. As far as cannabis and the LCB and all that kind of stuff, when I look at cannabis, to me, it's a crop, it's an agricultural thing. I don't think that the Liquor Control Board should have anything to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, on a restaurant level, on my side, we've always separated it completely. Whether you're having even just a wine pairing, a beer pairing, or even a cocktail pairing. Even when we've done cannabis dinners, it's never been with alcohol in it. It's always been, here's a food menu that I'm making, and then how can we time everything out through a dosage through the entire dinner and figure out how we can do that with the diner together. You know, the Liquor Control Board on my side, I don't feel like they understand what's going on with cannabis or anything else, really. It's just been on the restaurant level, which has always been restrictive, and it's almost like the health department too, where it's just more about money, giving them the things they need, and they'll get off my back. I see the Liquor Control Board maybe once a year. I see the health department twice a year. And then from there, it's on me, on a liability. If I give somebody too much at my restaurant and they end up being harmed, that's on me. And then I have liquor control board there the next day going like, somebody did something, that's on you now. The more I can get them to stay away from me, but also give me the regulation in order to handle it professionally in my restaurant, that's all I'm looking for.
There's a question over here.
Jeremy has one quick thing he likes to add.
You know, a great example is when I was at Magical Butter, we actually had a young lady who was decided to put a small dab, 1/8 into a small shot of vodka. We were at an event with a big group of people and some reporters, and she shot it. She ended up having an epileptic seizure and falling onto the ground, and we had to rush her into a private area into the back and give her something to stop the seizure. So some people can have very serious reactions to it, and she's absolutely right. Terpenes, knowing what's in it, and test results. Test results, test results, test results. My people don't touch anything without test results.
And I'd like to offer my own personal experience with being cross-faded. I've discovered that if I have more than 2 drinks before I smoke cannabis, I have a memory switch that goes poof, and it's gone, and I forget things. It's different than being blacked out. But if I smoke cannabis before I have a drink, it's okay. It's fascinating. Do we have any other questions? Oh, let's go for the gentleman, and then you're next, dear.
So are there weed and food pairings? What weed goes good with steak? What weed goes good with fish? Or what cooked stuff goes good together with what strains of weed?
Anybody want to
That's an awesome
field this
question,
one?
and I'd like to find out. That's the frontier. I mean, that's kind of what I'd love to have, to be able to do that in my kitchen. Have guests come in and give me their opinion on what works, what doesn't. I just don't have that now. I mean, when I have wine that we order at the restaurant level, I have distributors coming in. They'll come in with 10, 12 different things. We'll set up a tasting and we'll try some food along with it. Same thing with beers, all these other kinds of things. There's constantly tastings going on a level, but I can't do that beyond anything in a license at all. There's no way for me to do that. I other than talking to somebody that sells it or makes it, but serving it to another guest and finding that answer out, I don't have that ability right now.
More experience is needed, more experiment.
Right, for sure.
Information.
Yeah, I would love to have those answers. I would love to be the person that could say it's this one, this one, this one, just like I can tell somebody what wine goes well with the steak or the chicken or anything else.
I think that we do have a lot more of that information than people realize right now. Terpenes give us a lot of that information. Finding out what terpenes are in various strains, those terpenes can be mapped to a lot of the herbs that we use already in the culinary world, and so that's what we can use to help us